Let's make a beautiful pair of flares together in a few easy steps. These are the Fredi Flares and this pattern is available on my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description below. The material you will need for this DIY is 1 to 2 meters of stretchy fabric of your choice that has at least 60% stretch, some elastic to fit around your waist, matching thread and a sewing machine, and optionally an overlocker. Step 1, as per usual, is printing the pattern and potentially assembling it together. We can then start cutting our fabric. We need to cut both pattern pieces twice and mirrored, so we end up with 2 mirrored front pieces and 2 mirrored back pieces. And then it's already time to assemble the pieces. We start by sewing both front and back pieces together along the crotch curves with the right sides facing, which leaves us with this front and back piece. It is very important that we are aligning the notches for this. We can then open up the 2 pieces and lay them on top of each other, right sides facing, to close the outer side seams of the flares. Both side seams need to be closed from the very top to the very bottom of the flares, making sure we are aligning the notches, as otherwise our seams might be pulling and don't end up straight, which very easily happens when sewing with stretchy fabric. Once we have closed the outer side seams, we can then work on the inner leg seam. For this, we best spread the flares apart and make sure to align both crotch seams with each other. From here we can pin outwards and once again make sure we are aligning our notches from the pattern. I cannot stress enough how important this is. With the inner leg seam closed, we can try our flares on and make sure they fit right. We also want to make sure to check how high they rise on our body and fold the waistband down to check how long we need our elastic to be, which we need to sew into 1 loop. The elastic can then be added to the top of our flares. Usually it is easiest to divide the elastic into 4 equal parts, for which I am using pins, and then align those pins with the 4 seams we have inside the flares. Most of the time the elastic will be slightly smaller than the flares, so when attaching these 2 layers with each other, we want to slightly stretch the elastic to match the width of the flares. Next, we can fold the waistband we created inside the flares and either top stitch this down or tag the waistband at the seams for a seamless look. I just tag the elastic to the seams. However, if we top stitch this, we want to make sure to stretch the elastic as we sew over it so it remains stretchy. I personally just preferred the seamless look for these flares, but both options are equally as good. Lastly, we also want to hem the bottom of our flares. For this I used a single hem, however you could choose a lettuce hem, raw hem, rolled hem, or whichever type of hem you prefer for your garments. However, you might want to try the flares on to see if you are happy with the length before you do this. And with that we have finished sewing the Fredi Flares and here is the final outcome. What do you think? Do we love them? I love a good pair of flares and really am loving the fit of the Fredi Flares. They actually also make a great activewear pant whilst also great for going out. In my opinion, a super versatile piece which I will get a lot of wear of. I also made a patchwork set of flares with an exposed seam which I am obsessed with and have also been wearing loads. Depending on the fabric that we choose for this type of pattern, we can create completely different looks and purposes for these pieces. I personally love wearing flares and will likely make quite a few of these, but please do let me know what you think of them or if you have any other questions using the comments below. I hope you like them as much as me, and other than that, thank you so much for watching.